One station making history every day.
Chicago, Chicago.
Now, John Cass and Lauren Cohn.
89 WBS. In constant sorrow all through his days, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days.
Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago.
And that's the Chicago Way, 907. Lauren Cohn, John Cass.
What a Friday, right?
What a Friday. Politics is blooming. We've got Bill Cameron over there. I can see him through the glass, another political junkie. Dan Michalopoulos from the Sun-Times is coming in later. Talk about schools, the politics of schools, and the politics of a $59 million parking scam. Thank you, Mayor Daley.
Yeah, more on the backs of the taxpayers here, right?
Right, another one.
Makes you proud to be a Chicagoan, doesn't it?
It certainly
tell
does.
you, man. But right now, thanks, Bill. But right now, we're talking Bill Beavers, the most unrepentant and refreshing moralist in America.
So you were there yesterday.
Yes.
You were there. So after this, and this happened in such a short period of time, where they came back with a conviction, he was outside of the courtroom. What was it like with him?
What happened was we were in the courtroom. I think the jury went off and had a ham sandwich.
Right.
And before they finished the last bite, they convicted Bill Beavers of 4 counts of tax fraud, basically, right? Mm-hmm. Lying to the FBI and so forth, whatever, obstruction and so forth. And I looked at him, and, I'd covered his first campaign 30 years ago. My first campaign and his first campaign, the first one he ran. And he said, I said, "You're going to talk?" And he said in his characteristic Bill Beavers voice, "Hey, man, you're talking to me now. What do you want to know?" I said, "What does it feel like?" And he said, "I thought I was going to win, but I lost." Then he went downstairs, and we're taking your calls on this at 591-8900. I wrote about it in today's column in the Chicago Tribune. We went downstairs, and he did the Bill Beavers show.
Right.
And Bill Beavers, unrepentant, strong. I've seen politicians standing in that spot in the federal building. By the way, you know what that federal building is? It's not just a building. It's the Kaiser Sose of buildings.
Right.
This is the building that scares politicians. When they say 219, Dearborn, they say that to their children to scare them to be good. And he's down there, and I've seen others. I've seen governors. I've seen, and you've seen them too. You covered these things, and you see governors and chiefs of staff, and their lip starts quivering, and they start squirting a few. I didn't.
And then he said, "I'm 78. What can the judge do to me?" Was that a little arrogant, John? Though was that?
He said, "I'm 78. What's the judge going to do with me?" And Paul Meineke from WLS or ABC, said, "Well, they could put you away for 9 years." Meineke's one of the best in the business. They could put you away for 9 years. And Beaver said, "I'll be dead. I'm not going to last that long." But the way he did it...
Was it arrogance, though, or was that just him? That's just...
Yeah, you want to hear this? Just hear it for yourself.
What have I got to lose? I'm 78 years old. I've been paying taxes for 60 years. You're going to either pay taxes or you're going to die. Those two things you're going to do. What can the judge do to me?
Commissioner.
All right. No, you can't put me in for 9 years because I'm not going to live that long.
Commissioner.
Death or taxes.
Now, am I going back? Is John Cass going back on his, anti-corruption thing? I don't know. You decide, 591-8900. I just think it's refreshing that that Bill Beavers has never been like the Jesse Jackson,
right.
Mr. and Mrs. Stuffed Elk Head.
And I'm going to cry.
Right?
Please give us mercy. Feel bad for us.
The editorial boards, the new media, mostly the mayors, everybody pushed the Jacksons in against the Beaverses. Okay, sometimes big time for the Jacksons. And what happened? You got 2 sniveling babies Snivellers. Tom in Schaumburg. Tell me I'm wrong, Tom.
I'm disappointed that the judge didn't revoke his bond, take him into custody immediately. I don't want to listen to nothing this guy's got to say. He's a liar. He's a thief. He was in politics for himself and nobody else for all the wrong reasons. He got caught finally. Take him off the street, put him away, and let him rot.
That's very charitable of you, Tom.
Okay, Tom.
That's very charitable of you. He will go to prison, I think, right?
We hope.
But listen, what do you there's a guy who gambled and lost.
Seriously.
There are other guys, let's say, of a far paler, pinker persuasion who have infrastructures around them, Tom. They make fortunes. Some of them, even have relatives who are chief law enforcement officers, and nobody gives them any caca, No one ever says bad to them.
Hey, I hope all of them get caught.
All right, Tommy. Thank you, man. Lauren,
he was going to testify. What happened with that, John? He didn't testify. He said that he didn't feel that, All
right, here's the question. He said they came to me and asked me to wear wire on John Daly. Mm-hmm. And if they indict me, I'm going to testify to that effect. Well, he didn't testify. But he kept saying John Daly. He kept saying it through the media to me, to Dan Michalopoulos, to other reporters. Bill Cameron has tape on it. And yesterday, what's that? I'll tell you what I think it is. It's a message. It's an old street message, and it says, hey, Dailies, take care of my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Capito?
Capiche?
Capiche. Lance in Lakeview. Lance, you're Lance in the land of the lingonberries and the sticky buns.
Yeah, that's for sure.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. Hey, guys, this Beavers thing is small potatoes. And you know what? When you look at how corrupt I believe even the federal system is, I was almost rooting for the guy to get out. It comes back to the classic story of, they're going to target political corruption. They get the streets and sand guy sleeping in a truck or reading a newspaper. We have the SEC going after the whole state, basically charging the whole state. It's been brought up before. Not one criminal charge. Nothing. We have this latest parking deal. This state, this county, in pretty much the United States of America is one big Ponzi scheme, and we're going after some guy because he furnished his office.
Oh, wait a minute now. You think Bill Beavers did not put stuffed elk heads on his wall. He went out and gambled, okay?
He's at the slot machine.
But Lance brings up a good point, okay? And everybody, 591-8900, when we come back, why is it that he goes away, but I guess the big fish don't go away? Mm-hmm. And Lisa Madigan, I don't think she's investigating the fraud. I don't know what happened. Lisa, don't you want to be governor? All right, John Cass, Lauren Cohn, traffic and weather first on the fives with Ryan Burrow.
There's no law against what I did. There's no law against gambling with campaign funds. You heard Noonan said that wasn't the guy from the State Board of Elections. That wasn't a violation.
No, there's no law about gambling with campaign funds, but there is a law about not declaring it on your taxes.
They had Sam Adams Jr., his attorney.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday
with Bruce and Dan this morning.
Oh, yeah,
and he basically said that he couldn't get a fair jury because the jury's so used to opening up the papers and seeing, this criminal, that criminal.
John Cass, Dan Michalopoulos. What do? We destroyed Sam Adams.
Well, he had nothing. That was his best defense, right?
Right. All right, let's see. Lucky, Northbrook.
Good morning. You got to give him a little bit of credit. He did take it like a man. I mean, he gambled, he lost, he came out, he smiled, he admitted that he lost, he complained, but, he's ready to go to jail.
Yeah, that's old South Side old school.
I mean, come on. He's not crying. He's not blaming anybody. He's not trying to blame his lawyer. He lost, and he's taking it like a man. Give him a little bit of credit. He may be a crook. He took it John Gotti style. I lost, now I go serve my time.
Yeah, well, what Bill Beavers did was right. Stand up and... but he also mentioned the dailies. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yes, I understand.
Right, he's sending a message, baby. What?
Who else is he going to blame? They're going to take care of his family. Come on. And he's got enough money to last the rest of his life.
I don't think he's got a dime left, but we'll see. Thanks.
We'll find out, though.
Thanks a lot, Lucky. Here's a text from 847, and you can text us at WLSAM 68683. Of course Lisa Madigan wants to be governor. She just doesn't want to dig up any mud. It might splash the wrong way. Hi, Daddy. Can I be governor? Watch that go. That's the next deal. That's the next Chicago way deal.
It's always a show, you know. That's what you got to love about Chicago.
It's all about the guy behind the guy.
Right.
Who do we want to take next? Pick it, Lauren.
All right, let's go to Margot in Burr Ridge.
Margot, my neighbor. What's up?
Hey, my dad was a DuPage County commissioner, and about 15 years ago, they made $27,000 a year. He donated it to charity. When he died, they had a $50,000 life insurance policy on him. He donated that to the Robert Crown Center. There's your public servant. What has happened in 15 years? We have no public servants in Illinois. They're all there for what they can do for themselves. We don't know the meaning of the word anymore, at least not the people that are supposed to be public servants.
It's the me generations.
Well,
yeah, exactly. In 15 years, we've gone to the me generation.
You think so, Margot? I think your father and other people like him were exemplary and role models. Yeah. Your father, I bet, would not make sure that a contract went to his brother.
No.
Right? He would be embarrassed. Just like you would be embarrassed. I know Burr Ridge, it's right near us where we live. You'd be embarrassed out there if you were on the PTA and you would give a contract to your brother to clean up, for landscaping, for example, right? If he was an arborist.
Exactly.
You would be mortified, right, Margot?
Exactly.
So what's the difference between some communities and the larger Illinois?
I guess it's because locally they watch what's going on. I think Chicago's so big, you can't keep your finger on what's going on. There's just too many ways you can hide it, I guess. I don't know.
I'd say it's the combine. Crooked Republicans and crooked Democrats at the top of the heap, like the apes on the top of the rock at Brookfield Zoo, the dominant males. Right?
What a picture.
Yeah, and all the little apes have to eat the candy wrappers.
Wasn't that a movie where they broke out to Planet of the Apes and then they went and lived in a forest somewhere and all the humans were afraid of them? That was the remake of Planet of the Apes.
Bill Beavers.
Well, I'm afraid of him.
Bill Beavers, Margot, is going to do a lot more time than Bill Cellini. And Bill Cellini is the boss. So, anyway, thanks for calling, Margot.
Thank you for a great show.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks, Margot.
Gary in Hickory Hills. Gary, you're on with John and Lauren.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my comment is very simple. I think it's very sad that Mr. Beaver's comment was that I'm not a snitch, never will be. I think it sends the wrong message to the African-American youth of Chicagoland.
Is he sending a message to African-American youth or to the Daily Boys about their brother? And they're not African-American, so I don't know. What do you think?
I think the no-snitch policy that's in Chicagoland that we're having a problem with is absolutely wrong, number one. But I think Mr. Beavers is just being an example that, that's what we should do.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gary. And now we have Lee and Wilmette. You've got about 10 seconds, Lee. Quick.
Yeah, we've heard more from Mr. Beavers, a street hustler, than we've in the last 2 days, and we've heard from Mike Madigan in the last 10 years.
But which one has a bigger bank account? Huh? Which one makes Supreme Court justices? Which one has his daughter as the chief law enforcement?
Where's the hue and cry from the media that this guy says nothing ever?
I am the media. Lauren is the media. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but maybe you, but the rest of it. I mean, where are the editorials demanding him to have a press conference? I mean, it's ridiculous.
All right, we got to go, and I'll bring that up at the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay, Lee, John Cass, Lauren Cohn. We're back after this.
89 WLS. Weather happens. Turn to 89 WLS for up-to-the-minute forecast from America's most dependable, The Weather Channel. Online at WLSAM.com. Keyword storm and 89 WLS.
Lauren Cohn, John Cass, 89 WLS, 591-8900, and your text to WLSAM 68683. Lauren.
When you read these headlines, nothing shocks you anymore in Chicago, does it? Now we got this parking scandal, and it makes you go, really? Are you kidding me? More money out of my pocket?
$58 million that the city has to pay because some other guy who used to be mayor and who was beloved by much of the media present company excluded. I guess, I don't know, that's the Chicago way too. And later in the show, Lauren Cohn is going to be a defense attorney trying to protect the life of a big fat weasel. I'm sorry, a groundhog. Okay, and I'm gonna
let's be clear on what.
Yeah, we're gonna
what this rodent is.
He deserves capital punishment.
He deserves fair
Punks of
trial.
tiny filth. All right. In the meantime, we're gonna have Dan Michalopoulos next. But let's see. Can we have one more call? Dan of Bensonville. You get the last word.
Great. Good morning, John and Lauren. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You know, I'm like most people. I pay my taxes on time, and if I would have avoided $500,000 in income, I would have had my accounts frozen and I'd be in jail. Someone ought to tell Mr. Beavers there is not a senior citizen discount for jail terms for tax fraud, and I'm looking forward to him spending a long time in jail, like any one of us would be doing if we defrauded the IRS out of taxes. So, John, you're going soft. You ought to be hammering in the paper.
I'm not going soft. News with Ryan Burrow now. It is 9:30.
89 WLS. When you want Chicago's classic hits, turn to 94.7 WLS. For traffic and weather info, tune in to 890 AM WLS for traffic and weather first on the fives when you need it most.